right.
We are back in
We are
action.
back at
So
it.
good. Been gone for a little while, but we're back.
I've been to Phoenix, to San Diego.
International traveler.
That's still in the United States.
Well, no, international. You were Mexico a while back. Don't negate
That
that.
was 2 months ago.
So anyhow, since then we had Kevin Carney on.
Dude, tore it up.
Yes. Who does not know Kevin Carney? Who needs to know Kevin Carney?
Watch the previous podcast. He
That's right.
broke YouTube with how many views he got.
Yep.
Killed it. Absolutely
So
killed
good
it.
stuff. Real good guy. So what did we do last week?
Last week, me, you, Jenny from the block, and Juan went up to the Growthward Summit in Phoenix.
What is that?
That is a conference that our coach Kristan put on.
Oh, can I show this?
You can do whatever you want.
There you go. Survival, success, significance. But we'll get to that, right?
It was good. It was real good. It was Monday, Tuesday, 2 days. This is her third one. I would say they had 600 people probably at the first one, 400 at the...
I was there at the first one.
I was at all three. 400 at the one last year. Then I think they had like 180 at this one. And that's not a negative thing. That was on purpose.
Yep.
Everybody that was in that room is people that need to be in that room.
Yep. I think she's brilliant the way she did it.
Yep.
She had the right
Why is that?
crowd. Well, because I think she had the right crowd for what she was talking about. And no offense, but the very first one, which is very, very impactful for me, had a lot of like how to increase your production, how to sell another home or sell 10 more homes.
It was the advanced nuts and bolts of real estate.
Yes.
Transactional real estate.
Yep. Had a lot of great speakers, this, that, the other.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. It was more transactional based versus, as simple as it may sound, life based.
Yeah. So last year's was more like the next level up. Probably would have gone over majority real estate agents' heads. Just talking about the systems model structures.
Yeah. When I was in Haiti last time, so I couldn't attend that one.
And then this one was 5% real estate.
Yeah, if
95%.
Yeah, James Nellis did a great job with some of the real estate stuff on that piece, but he talked
Denny
about life
did too.
stuff. Denny did too. Yes, he did. So, but the way it was put together was brilliant. Brilliant.
Yep.
So, I'll definitely be hitting the next one.
Side note, we've been eating ham all day.
Yes, not regular ham.
We had
Serrano ham.
we had a team Christmas party last Saturday.
That thing is awesome.
And you came in with literally a leg of a pig.
Yes.
On a spit thing.
Dried, aged.
Cured. I think every single crevice in my teeth has ham in it right now.
Just don't zoom in, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yep, that ham's good stuff. It's
It
like
is.
jerky,
it is. We
man.
should just bring that stuff whenever we travel.
Well,
Go grab
I
it.
got some right there.
Go grab a leg of it, throw it in the truck.
Yeah.
Mexico.
People are going to think we're carnivores, man.
Mexico. Why?
We're going to lose a lot of vegetarian friends.
Oh,
Actually,
I don't have any.
I don't even know if I have any. But
No.
Yeah. So
anyway, what was the? Let's talk about the first thing that she covered.
The life circle. Life circle was
not the circle of life, like
you
said earlier.
Yeah, the old.
You're not going to try to sing.
I won't do the Lion
air.
King yell, no. But the life circle, and some of the different the pies of that life circle.
You know what we can do is we'll post below this video a link to a description of it.
Sounds good. Yep.
So life circle is basically so that one's got 7 of the top areas of our life: physical health, personal life, relationships, job, business, finances, and spiritual life. I would say for a majority of people, job and business get lumped into one. But you kind of rate yourself.
It bleeds over into the financial one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the main thing that she brought out is the fact that all of these can be at different states at different times in your life.
Be in flux.
Yep.
Yeah. Why would they be in flux? Like I've done this a dozen times.
Yeah.
Why is it different every time?
I think because what you focus on expands.
Mm-hmm.
As simple as that may be. And so once you're concentrating on a certain area that you may think needs some assistance or needs some help, then you're pulling away from another area. So
the other one too is I think once you dive in real deep, you may go one way or the other. Like surface level, you may go physical, or let's go physical. Going, all right, so mark your at physically. You mark halfway up. And I start asking you pertinent information about your physical health. Then you go, oh, well, maybe it's not quite 50. Maybe it's like 30, percent. So,
well, and then there's also the, you call it the workaholics. Those that work, and that's all they do is work and concentrate on work, or, and has that hustle. And then all of the other attributes of life start to deteriorate because all the time and energy is focused on just that one element.
Correct.
And then, you wonder why relationships fall apart. You wonder why, your health is in shambles, and try and rebuild those at the time when they're almost past failure. Yeah, there's a lot of stress that can be added on there. So this kind of helps. I don't want to say balance it, because life is a counterbalance, just like you talked about.
Balance is bunk.
Yeah. So you're literally trying to basically make yourself whole as a deal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this started with. Excuse me, but it was really awesome to see how it kind of segued into the 5 different mentors.
Yeah, five different mentors in your life.
Yeah.
And looking at those, as some of them bleed over into other areas, meaning that your health guy may be a relationship one too. He's kind of a coach in that area. But some of them have no right speaking in other areas of your life. Your health guy may have jacked up finances.
That's right. And who you're hanging around with, or who you're surrounded with those mentors, is actually who you start to become.
Yeah, that's been a big one, is looking at, I'm a social guy, but trying to dictate who I focus on spending those times with. But it's not necessarily ditching those people that aren't in your top 5. Like, you only hang out with those 5 people that are the most influential in your life. That's a big myth. When I first heard it, I thought, oh, you give the bird to everybody else.
Yeah, no.
It's you only allow those 5 people to speak into your life.
Correct.
In those certain areas.
Yeah, I think you've got to differentiate between the two.
Absolutely.
Because we all have some friends that, like, man.
But you and I both know, we talk about it with kids, is you do have to guard yourself with how much you spend around certain
You wouldn't
people.
let your kids hang around the bad apples, so why would you?
They're going to interact.
It's just simple.
You can't shield them 100% of the time, but you can dictate how much time and influence they have.
That's right. Yeah.
So
and that was, I thought it was very unique at how each one of those pies of that life circle should have a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can identify who it is, now your second piece is to figure out how you're going to spend time with that individual to speak into that little segment of your life.
Correct.
I think that was what was really unique. And I think you do have to take time for yourself to understand that stuff.
Absolutely. So the meeting was around survival, success, and significance.
That's right. And that was actually, if you look on the back of the book, I mean, she's been saying that for years, and, John Maxwell as well. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So like I say, survival, success, significance,
So basically what she's talking about there is, in all these areas of your life, and then your life as a whole, you're either in survival, you're in success, or you're in significance. Survival is it's the bare minimum to get by.
And let's talk about that a little bit, because I think if you attach those 3 words to each one of those pies, such as, let's just say, financial or relationships, we can all be in different segments, in different areas.
Oh, absolutely.
Or different buckets with those segments. In other words, financial, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're in survival mode.
Yep.
And I think you really have to define what success is and define what significance is.
For yourself.
That's right. For yourself. You're absolutely correct. And I think everybody can be different. In other words, if you make $100,000 a year, are you successful? To some people, they're not, because it's not doing what it intended to do. So it's not really a number. It's what you're able to do with whatever funds that are coming your way.
Yeah. Then you look at relationships. Spiritual, everything else.
Yeah. And like I said, I think financial is an easier one to kind of read that thermostat, because, it's numbers for me.
Absolutely.
It's easier. So what is success then?
I would say success Success is you are hitting your goals that lead towards joy or happiness. And then I would say, and the reason why I say it's kind of there is that you're hitting your goals where you can wake up every morning and be joyful in what you do.
Or just say you're happy.
Yeah.
You're happy with where you're at.
Yeah.
From a financial standpoint.
Well,
it takes away,
and every
there's
standpoint.
some security to that, is there not?
So yeah. I would say that would be success. When I look at significance, I think it would be more of a life better than you've ever dreamed of.
Okay. Yep. And I look at it just a very basic, survival is eating ramen. It's just, no offense to ramen, but it's good stuff. But it's just that you have to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
Where success is ordering guacamole without thinking about it.
Yep.
And then significance is you order guacamole for everybody.
Yeah.
Because they love it, and you just so. I think it's just a little bit different of a perspective on things, and understanding that. I think Ben Kinney said this best, and the way, or at least this is what resonated with me, was when people are in success, it gets to a number standpoint. They're looking at numbers. Once you go from there to significance, numbers go away, and it's all about people.
You look at number of people, maybe.
Yeah, and that's why I go, wow, that's kind of impactful, because if you've already got all the money you want, just like what John Maxwell, when they did that, Kristan did the interview with him.
I looked up because I was curious, and this is so skewed probably, but like it said, like his net worth was in the like $500 million range.
Yeah, add some commas and zeros.
You think of how many his speaking fee and how many books. He has a new book every week. Yeah. That type of stuff. So it's obviously not about money anymore.
Nope. Well, that's what
I don't think it was about money.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. That's what he even said. He goes, I've got more money than I can spend in the rest of my lifetime. Yeah. So it's not about making money. And that's when he said, hey, I'm going to be retiring.
Yeah.
I guess earlier this
One of the things
year.
I think that he said was retirement is selfish.
That's right.
And that was a good one. I appreciated that because I don't, like, the American dream, I think, is to build up enough in your bank account to retire.
Yep.
I feel like that is we'll get some blowback for this one, but I feel like retirement a little bit is kind of you're wasting part of your life.
Well, I kind of see that perspective is what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, once you stop, you're living off the money that you generated, and you kind of put up these barriers and walls. You say, I'm good, and kind of hold things in. Where I think that's what he said. He goes, no, I've got wisdom. I've got a lot more learning and teaching to do. So that's why he opened up the walls and said, you know what? I need more people that I can kind of help out and make this world a better place.
And I'm not saying necessarily you stay in your job forever, because they'll kick you out eventually. Yeah. But let's look at a guy like Bill Terry, goes down to Mexico with us. Mm-hmm. Bill is 78, I think.
He's a house building machine too.
Yeah. He's been retired he worked at they did work selling and servicing copiers and printers, commercial stuff. And he's been retired. That guy is at his church every day, helping out, doing stuff in Mexico, building houses.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he's helping people.
Exactly.
Now versus,
and
there's nothing wrong with each one of them. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's just that I think people go, okay, hey, now I have the opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
And it actually brings fulfillment.
Absolutely.
That's where
to others.
Yep. Well, not only to others, to themselves.
Yeah.
And people go, oh, that may be a selfish kind of mindset, but once you're able to help somebody else and it actually helps you in return, mm-hmm. From an emotional standpoint, that's what it's about. It's actually helping you more than helping the other individual.
Yep.
Sometimes. But yeah. So who all spoke at this event?
We had John Maxwell, obviously, Kristan Cole put it on, Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin. Who doesn't know Sarah? Well, here's the thing. I didn't know her until we just met her. I don't know her, but I got to know a little bit about her, which is kind of unique. And I found out she's actually a pretty cool human being.
She's a person.
That's right.
She's she's a wife and a mom that happens to was in politics.
That's right. And actually good friends with Kristan.
Yeah.
They grew up together. Yeah.
That is so funny to me is that Wasilla, Alaska is where they grew up. I think it was like 2,000 people.
Yeah, it was like a couple
rode
thousand
horses
people.
to school, all that stuff. And
Some power came out of that town.
heck yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Who else spoke up there?
Nellis.
James
Nellis.
Yep.
He is in the D.C. area, real estate agent. Ben Kinney, who has built a
Bunch of empires.
Yeah. He's not.
That guy's changing the world.
He's not
one person at a time.
He's not a real estate agent. I mean, he is.
Yeah, and that's the thing is on the next podcast that we're going to do here, talking about what are we going to talk about?
Giving.
Gratitude and giving, and
yeah.
Yep. So we'll talk a little bit about what he did and stuff there, and some other impacts. But Ben Kinney's he's just a solid guy.
He is. He was awesome.
Solid guy. 2 days straight. Can't listen to him.
Yep. Shea Hillenbrandt, Rich Barker spoke together. They're both former Major League Baseball players. Rich is a buddy of ours. Just awesome. Looking at that side where there was two pieces. Is the loneliness side of how you can be on the center stage and still be lonely as all get out. So Shea had all the money in the world, and
he had $20 million in the bank.
Yeah,
I think that story will resonate with me forever.
Yeah,
as he is 60,000 feet in a private jet.
Yeah,
going to the Major League All-Star game.
Yeah,
there's 3 people on the plane, pilot, co-pilot, and himself, and that was the day that he said, "What? That was
the loneliest day.
That was the loneliest day of my life." Because I found out that I have all the money in the world that I ever can spend, that I want to spend, and I hate this.
Yep. And then just looking at how identity, I think, was with 2 of them too, going. And Rich, Rich didn't have any quit in him.
No, he did not. I actually gained a lot of respect for Rich because I didn't know that story. You know, and like he said, he goes, I just had it. I could throw a ball, you know, and I don't want to take anything away from these 2 guys on what they spoke about, but it really resonated with me, you know, what they were talking about.
For sure.
All the talent in the world, you know, and then ultimately trying to find your calling. Yeah. I think that's where it came to a head there, which was really unique to kind of see that, you know, Rich is doing some phenomenal things out there right now with, you know, real estate as well. He's a fellow agent.
He is. So he's
Fountain Hills area.
Yep.
Doing some good stuff. Working from the heart. I mean, I love that.
He's got no quit in him either. He's fighting off cancer right now, and actually, I was texting back and forth with him last night. Actually, I sent him a picture of my boys with the baseball that he signed, and
I've got the ball in my car too.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Good people.
Yeah, that's really good.
What was the overall theme with these people, you think?
The overall theme, I think it kind of goes right back to that survival, success, and significant role, and understanding that just because money has nothing to do with success and significance. Yeah. Has nothing to do with it, where I think that most of us may think that money has everything to do with it. It makes things easier. Money makes things easier, where I would disagree. I think money makes things more complex. Mm-hmm. I think it kind of highlights the person that you really are versus, or amplifies it.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that was the main theme of trying to hone in and focus on what's your purpose in this life. Yeah. Because not a single one of us is going to make it out alive. So what is your purpose? Yeah. And not only that, let's figure out how to take action on that and impact others.
And not waste your life.
That's right. I think that was what this event was about.
Yeah, it was cool seeing and listening to these people talk about like nobody. So you get especially in our industry, the ego measuring contest based off of units and volume.
Ben Kinney talked about that. That resonated pretty clear with me.
But what I love about like Ben is he provides opportunity for his people. Yes. He has provided avenues and venues for them to live a life better than they ever dreamed of. You know, that, and Kristan has as well, and all these people have, and they find fulfillment in seeing others live out their true potential.
What is Kristan's big why?
I don't have the whole thing, but it's essentially to influence leaders who influence other leaders. And that's she's doing it.
And you've known her for about 4 years, and I've known her for about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And you can hear one thing, but when action takes place, which is what this event was about. And that's what I say. This event wasn't for, just anybody. I mean, it had a price tag to it.
Yep.
And that price tag was, can be pretty steep. I mean, it was $700. So here's the thing. A lot of people go, what in the world would you pay that for? But once you saw the outcome on what it did, and every penny of that money went to
4 charities,
4 different charities. So it's not like it's like, going to somebody to lace their wallet. It's actually going to a very good cause that people are passionate about.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you're able to prove that speaks wonders. And it's infectious.
For sure. And I think that sometimes with our big why, we have to have it written out, look at it, and it's not currently your reality, but you're working your way to it. Kristan is, that's been her big why.
Yep.
I think that from what we can see now is it's really coming to start to manifest itself, and it's only going to get greater.
You're right. Well, that was that's also what resonated. She was talking about, don't worry about the how. If your why is big enough, your how will resolve itself.
Yep.
And that's what started to manifest there. There's a lot of good stuff that was done there.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
So look at some notes we took.
Got it. Notes. Some quotes. Yes. I got one.
Do it.
Ben Kinney. As leaders, we can change lives and ruin lives.
How do you ruin someone's life?
Man,
as a leader?
Not being the leader that you need to be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, that goes right out of my old military handbook right there.
Yeah.
Got to be on point, man.
Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. How many requests and opportunities do you think Kristan Cole gets?
More than one.
Yeah, a day.
Yeah.
When you're in any type of situation, you ask yourself this question: what in this situation can I control?
The things that you can control.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So don't worry about all the other.
Yeah, look at it
crap,
and go
stuff, whatever.
Look at toxic relationships. Look at people that are energy suckers, and you look at them and go, what can I control?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna focus on that. Everything else, I'm not gonna give a waking second of my brain to.
Prime example: we could have somebody knocking on the door right now. We can't control if they're going to knock on the door, but we can control whether we're going to keep continuing or answer or whatever. But you're absolutely right. I think, and that's the thing is, I want to give a big shout out to Kristan. She was one of 4 coaches or people on this planet that, when I had an opportunity to coach, that I wanted to coach me. I'm talking everybody. So she was one of 4, and the reason I went with that direction with her is because the fact that I think that she is one to get me where I want to go.
Oh, for sure.
Get me to think the way that that she's thinking somehow. And again, it goes right back to her big why.
Absolutely.
So I truly believe that. That's good stuff.
Fiduciary duty of a leader is to set the standards and set the expectations. Another one that's kind of around that is. Standards are behaviors. Expectations are are results.
Standards are behaviors.
Yep.
Expectations are the result.
Yep.
So why get emotional?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. And Ben Kinney talked about that with his people. Is he said, I set this. We've got standards.
Set the standards up front.
Up front.
Make sure they understand it.
It's black and white. You hit it or you don't.
Yeah.
Now there's grace involved. There's there's seasons that people go through. Think of how many people you got out of business with if they had a bad week or 2 or month.
Yeah.
And how much regret would have been after that, but on the opposite side is when you set those standards and they're consistently not hit, you didn't make the decision.
You're right. It's separating that
did.
emotion,
Yeah.
I think I've even heard Anthony Azar talk about it. I love you, but my standards don't.
Yep. You got that. You got that. From
and
Gary
when you're
Keller.
like, wait a minute here, That's key. But I think what we do is we allow emotion to kind of bleed into things, and we make calls sometimes, or judgmental calls off of emotion versus off of a standard.
I heard Andy Stanley, who's a great leader, say one time, he said, in any situation, ask yourself that you don't know the answer to or that you're waving about, said, stop and ask yourself this one question. In this situation, what would a great leader do?
Yeah. You know the answer is going to be right there.
And he said, when you start making decisions that great leaders make, you become a great leader.
Action.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's like this stuff is kind of simple, but I think we do. I've got the most successful people know that time is their biggest asset. And I think that we all know that, some of us, I'm going to say myself, not you, but statistically I have more yesterdays than tomorrow, so I need to make sure my time counts. It's pretty simple. Denny Grimes.
One of these was, growth is the consistent pursuit of the truth.
Yeah.
I like that one.
If you're not growing, you're dying too.
Yep. I can let myself down, but I cannot let my people down.
Yeah, I think that's pretty powerful. That's being a leader right there.
Yeah.
And continue why to be a leader. Denny Grimes had doing small is better than thinking big. Instead of just, talking about it and thinking about it, once you do something.
It's all the small actions that lead to
pieces,
big results. Yeah. Like I was listening to David Goggins, who's a health nut, talk about it. He goes, if you do, you're better off doing, 20 or 40 push-ups a day than doing 100 2 times a week.
Yeah.
Or
1,000 in one day.
Correct.
For the year.
In our world with real estate,
won't be there.
Making those contacts one after the other consistently. Baseball, home runs do not win baseball games. Base hits do.
It's the little things that matter.
Yep. Look at sports. Look at football. It's all those 3 yards rushing add up.
You're right. So we talked a little bit about the survival, success. Let's talk a little bit about that significance so we can kind of segue into our next episode.
Yeah, significance, I think, is when people are living or acting out in pursuit of their big why. And then as a result of that, it's leaving a legacy that you want to leave. Mm-hmm. Everybody is going to leave a legacy.
And everybody, not a single one of us is going to make it out of here alive. So
no, but
you can either choose to do it or you can allow life to kind of let it unfold.
Everybody's going to leave a legacy, whether that be as a crappy dad, a horrible business person, and completely unethical, or somebody that is completely selfless, a great spouse, parent, and somebody that was a world changer. Like everybody's going to leave a legacy. Is it one that is going to be of significance, or is it one that's going to be you die and you wasted your life?
You're forgotten.
Yeah.
You're forgotten. I think that's a good segue to go into our next topic, which is going to be the
giving piece.
The giving piece and leaving that legacy and understanding what life is truly about. And I think that, and we had a prime example this last week. So we got a lot of good stuff on the next episode that
absolutely
we'll talk about. So
we'll have that. We'll have that roll out next week.
All right. Sounds good. Anything else that you got?
Have a great Christmas.
Or Hanukkah.
Or
whatever
stuff there is. Or Tuesday.
Got to state that on both sides to be politically correct. Am I right? Yeah. So anyhow, happy holidays, right? Peace out.
Every viewer gets a chicken.
That's right. We only have to send out 3 chickens. All right. Bye.
Bye.